Hello, welcome everyone to Bike Cleveland's Bike Smarts August edition 2020. And this month's edition is Black History and Cycling. So we have a great night in store for you. You are here at Bike Cleveland Bike Smarts. We are now doing all our workshops virtually. We are your nonprofit cycling advocacy organization, bringing you cycling safety and cycling advocacy all throughout greater Northeast Ohio. And this is our virtual classes workshop, because we normally have these classes in person every third Tuesday called Bike Smarts, and they just give you some information to help improve your confidence and your skill levels while you're on the road. Now we're going to move on to what you really came here for. Maybe, maybe not, and that is cycling. Who has made contributions in the cycling world? And I just close, there it is. Mr. Major Taylor, Marshall Major Taylor. Here we go. All right, that is Mr. Marshall Major Taylor. Most people just say Major Taylor, and he is known in the cycling community as the world's fastest man, because he technically was the world's fastest man as the world championship in cycling. And so, but there are others. There are others who have made strides in the cycling community, and another one of those individuals is Miss Kitty Knox. And I love this picture right here, because I've never seen a picture of her in her younger years. You always see pictures, excuse me, of individuals such as like Harriet Tubman, and you always see her in her older years. But then when you see them in their younger years, it's just a different look. So this is Miss Kitty Knox. And she broke barriers by becoming the very first card holder of the Wheel of American. It was back in the days called the League of American Wheelmen, I believe, something like that. Like
League of American Wheelmen.
Yes, League of American Wheelmen. And so she was the first person, African-American female, to become a card carrying member. Of course, it didn't come easy because she's a woman and she's a female, but she has that. So you can look up more about her story. I have this personal book, this personal little zine about Kitty Knox right here. And I'm gonna read one day when I'm now on the bike. So that is her, about Kitty Knox. But there's another Kitty in the cycling world. This is Miss Kitty. I can't pronounce her last name, so I'm not even gonna try to butcher it. But she is one of the world's oldest woman, who is BMX racing. BMX. That means like she is like roughing and toughing it. BMX racing.
I got involved in the sport when our oldest son, who had been racing for a couple of years, said at the age of 11, "If you think this is so easy, why don't you try it?" So at the age of 40, I found myself on Mother's Day participating in my first BMX race with other mothers. And I'll tell you right now, I was hooked. It is a boatload of fun. But there's also a lot of learning that's involved. I've had to continue to race with men sometimes because there aren't any ladies around to race. So what am I going to do? Pack up my bags and go home because they're younger, they're faster? Of course not. I did have to have both knees and both hips replaced due to osteoarthritis. Being involved in a sport that requires you to stay healthy really works in your favor, even when there are some challenges that one must overcome. One of the things that I have done, particularly to continue to encourage women to be a part of it, I tell them that you have to take care of you first. Because when you take care of you first, then everything else just kind of falls into place. And it's not just about BMX racing, it's about life. So find that one thing that you're passionate about and give it your all. It allows me to stay young, even though I'm continuing to get older, staying young at heart. Way to go, baby.
Way to go.
You're looking good out there.
Thank you.
Definitely.
And again, always an honor. I look forward to this week.
Oh, that was good. So Kitty Weston Knauer, Knauer. I saw they made sure they had that clip in there from the announcer on the track to put in the video, which is very nice. She has some good motivational tips to share. Ladies on the call, thinking about BMX racing, you hear what she says, need some more people out there. All right, so that is Miss Kitty Knox. She is the oldest female BMX racer in the United States. And so next I want to introduce you is Miss Quick Brown Fox. Her name is Aisha McGowan. Let me see, this is her website, if you can see. So it's an interactive website, and she was going to be on par as the first African-American female racer, sponsored by a major bicycle company. And she made that happen. She is now sponsored with Live Cycling, and she is an international cyclist. So just like Miss Kitty said, making a plan and doing things that you want to do in life, that is what Aisha McGowan has done with her being a Quick Brown Fox. We met her in person. Like I said, if you have the opportunity to meet some of these people who are making the name for themselves in their sport and their whatever they're doing, tomorrow's not promised, so take an opportunity to meet them. And so I've met her one time, and she happened to be on the cover on the Outside magazine, and so that is an amazing achievement for her to get on the cover as a Black woman, as a young Black woman. So I'm sure she has a long life ahead of her of doing more great things and breaking more barriers, and of course getting more people on wheels, more people that look like her. And that is her friend right here, Sam. So she's already doing that. This is Aisha right here, and this is Sam. And that's what you do. You help people and you do the things that you want to do. So we've heard about, where's my notes? I'm sorry. We heard about Marshall Major Taylor. We heard about, okay, here we go. We heard about Miss Kitty Knox. Then we heard about Miss Kitty Knauer, right? And now we're hearing about Miss Aisha McGowan, who is a Quick Brown Fox. And now let's hear about the cheetah. Does anyone know, before I tell, Well, maybe y'all do know who the cheetah is.
Nelson Vales.
Yes, yes, yes. Nelson
1981.
Vales. Nelson Vales, the cheetah. And so this is a personal picture of me with Nelson Vales at the New York 5-Girl Tour with the first shero of the National Black Organization, Black Girls Do Bike. So I thought this was a nice picture, a picture of the first. And so he won the silver award in the Olympics. I don't know the year right now because I'm not good with remembering year numbers, but he did it. He's a Black man who did things in society, in cycling. And he is still cycling to this day. He is in California. I do know that part. And you can see that he gets up at the crack of dawn and riding long miles. And now that we are in a pandemic, you know, not everyone's not really doing their large social rides or group rides or fundraising rides. But when it was not a pandemic, you can find all these people doing something and bringing back the community, their love for their sport. So that is Mr. Nelson Vales, the cheetah. And really, now this one's really quick. Again, this is almost 2.5 minutes. So you can hear from his voice of who the cheetah is, Mr. Nelson Vales.
So let me do this photo shoot and call you back. Right now. I'm in Rockford later. 1, 2, 3. All right. Harlem in this dominant white sport, had New York City skyline painted on the side of my helmet. I was straight New York, and I went out to the Olympic Games, and I was doing it. This time, everyone remembers who took second. Welcome to Harlem. This is where I was born and raised. 20 West 115th Street was the building. So right here where we're standing is where I learned to ride my first bicycle.
That's right. Everybody knew Nelson Vales, you know. He's always being simple about riding, you know, constantly training. I remember when you went to the Olympics, what, in 84? It was really different.
Mark Gorski.
Right.
Yeah.
Just so, like,
Yeah. Mark the Metal back home to Harlem. I climbed a tree as a kid and cried because I wasn't going to get a bike for Christmas. And I got to thinking of my life. Growing up as a kid in Harlem, me and the boys, we would come and ride in Central Park lap after lap. We would go uptown, downtown, Wall Street, you know, just on our bikes. So I was a messenger by day. I would go home, get something to eat, come back to Central Park on my road bike, train by night, and race on the weekend. Going upstairs to the 9th floor to visit Miss Florence. Miss Florence is the oldest resident here in the project housing.
I mean, he could ride backwards, he could ride stand up, he could do just what he wanted with that bike. He could ride that bike like nobody else could.
No, he had a bike that was too big for him, but he was still fast. He had a Pujo 25-inch bike, it was too big for him.
I've ridden my bike on every single treatment. At one point or another, more than twice, both directions. Being part of the Toga racing team, it was a pretty unique experience because we would arrive at races, we had matching bikes, matching team van, matching clothing. After a while, everyone wanted to be like us. I knew right out of high school I was going to be a professional cyclist. I already had the magic wand, and I was learning how to use it. Once I learned how to use my magic wand, I started kicking everyone while they were down. You know what I mean? You think about it, we had fun.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Now I've seen his other video. If you wanted to watch the full story of Nelson Vales, you can see it on YouTube. And it was like a full 1.5 hours or so, 2-hour video about his life and how he came about. And he's just an amazing person. And that same photo, you know, I have myself of, so I'll have it to treasure, because he was 1984. I heard him say it was 1984 Olympics that he won the silver medalist. And just like he said, no one hardly ever remembers the second person, always remember the first. But perhaps people remember him because he's Black, you know, and he won a medalist in cycling. because a lot of people don't think that you can do so much with cycling or you just ride your bike, but you can do a whole lot. So we talked about Major Taylor, Kitty Knox, Miss Kitty, Aisha McGowan, Nachita, and now Mr. Justin Williams. He, as far as I know, I did not see a nickname for him, just Justin Williams. And him and his brother, they're over in California, and they started a racing team. And again, being on the front of covers, seeing Black images, Black people on major magazines is a big deal. It makes someone as a little kid can look up and say, I think I can do this too. So his group is called Concept. Doesn't have like all of the syllables in it, but it's pronounced Concept. And so it's just nice. Again, he's bringing back to the community. So I would strongly encourage, if you want to look more into him, just do like what I did right now and Google, because there's so much information. I really had a challenging time picking out something just for everyone. So I just said, I have the magazine. That would be great. So that is what I want to share with everyone. Well, with that being said, like I said, I want to leave off with some words of motivation from Miss Kitty, our BMX racer. If you haven't seen this before, she did a quick interview with Steve Harvey, who is here from Cleveland, Ohio. And it was just a really nice video. But if you have seen it before, it's worth to watch it again. And
hey, Dutchess, before you do that real quick, I just want to call, I know two local Black female cyclists in Cleveland that do great work, and it's you, Dutchess Daniels, and Diana Hildebrand, who's also on the call. You two do wonderful work, teaching people how to bike safely, getting people out riding. And I know I appreciate you, and I'm sure there are many others that do. So I just wanted to point that out. Oh,
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yes. I thought that I forgot I'm doing my job. I forgot that part. So I forgot that this is Bike Cleveland. And if you make sure that you can check out our website for any upcoming events. If you need any assistance with your membership, I can assist you with that. And even though we are doing these programs and this information right now, free of charge for anyone right now, due to the pandemic. So if you find value in this or you want to share this with someone, please by all means do that. And we do accept donations at all times. And with that being said, let's listen to Miss Kitty and see what advice she has for us that she shared with Mr. Steve Harvey. Coming back like round circle, right? Because he's from Cleveland and we're in Cleveland and this is Bike Cleveland. Get it? I'm corny sometimes. Okay, that's okay. Let me press play.
How much longer are you planning on racing? What you think?
Oh, come on. Age is nothing but a number, okay? And as long as I can keep the wheels on the ground, I'm going to continue to race.
Girl, woo.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that you had an accident that almost took you out the game. What happened?
It did. In August of '93, I was jumping doubles at the track. You know, you've seen them when they jump. Tumbled over, went off of my bike, broke my neck. It's called a C4-5 cord syndrome. It's the same type of break that Christopher Reeves, who was Superman, had. I wound up totally paralyzed. Surgeons said to me, you know, you may never recover full use of your limbs. And I look at myself today because here's what I had. There were two things I was going to do. One, I was going to walk out of that hospital. And two, the second thing I was going to do, I was going to get back to where I was physically before I had that accident. And as you can see today, I'm out here with you as we have this conversation.
You inspire us all right now. I mean, I'm telling you, because I'm seriously, I kid you not. I'm actually thinking, I was talking to my wife about getting a bike, and then you rode out here, and I've never met you before. I didn't know what this was. So now I'm gonna get a bike. You inspire us all. Do you really understand, I think, the fullness of what you are to so many people? Do you get a lot of people contacting you?
I do. If you have a passion, regardless of what it is, you go for it. You always go for it. And if you're not having fun, folks, forget it.
You're a great inspiration. Thank you so much, man. I love you, man. Folks, we'll be right back.
That is amazing. I can listen to that motivational speech, or I'm going to call it a motivational speech, every morning, because just to see someone who looks like me, who is doing something that I'm definitely afraid of, but she has no fear and is doing it and is having fun. I shouldn't be fearful of anything that I want to accomplish. And that goes for all of us here. If you have something, a passion and a joy, go ahead and do it and just have fun. So I want to leave with, as I asked questions in the beginning, now I'm asking questions in the end. I missed one question, but maybe it's okay now. We talked about Marshall Major Taylor. And I want to know, do you know where the first club was originated in? What city and state? If you know that. Because there's no way to actually put the answer in. I just want to know if you know, yes or no, the city or state. The city and state. All right, I'm going to give you about 5 more seconds here. And okay, so I'm going to share the results half and half, right? Half of us know, half of us do not know. The answer is the very first Major Taylor Cycling Club is not too far from here, was in Columbus, Ohio. Thank you very much. I hope that you, like I said, you walked away with learning something new. Like I said, most of the things, a lot of your household things that you are using was contributed from a person of color. And every day people are making and inventing something every day. Not just people of color, everybody, but just some of the essential things we need has been courtesy of improvements from a person of color. That's all I have this evening for you. I thank you.